Hey, 2011 Sprog personal fulfillment trainers. Just wanted to kind of give you a little update before after having watched the training, Zach and I give the training. We wanted to fill you in on a few more details on how we've modified it since that training happened, and yeah, just give you some tips. So first of all, I think one of the biggest pieces of feedback that we took away was that we needed to integrate more learning styles into the training. So we could have drawn more pictures, especially in the inbox zero stuff, visualize these different verbs and folders a little bit better. We could have done more kinesthetic stuff where people are up and moving, and just overall asked more questions and gotten a little more audience participation. We worked that into the template a little bit, but it's definitely something you can focus on when you're making your own edits for your delivery of the training. Definitely don't flip chart on the go like we did. Do it in advance and get some colorful, fun stuff in there and make it easier to read and whatnot. We were a little pressed for time for this extra video. So yeah. We adjusted the frame of the training a little bit based on feedback from that delivery of the training. So just people said that they didn't think that the inbox zero stuff fit in because everything else were these sort of broad principles and philosophy and concepts, and inbox zero was this really specific tool. And so we just came out and said that at the beginning of the training. That's now in the template, that we're going to talk a lot about concepts for getting barriers out of your way. Within that, we're going to tell you one tool for getting barriers out of your way, and then for the other half, we're going to talk about where you do want to put your energy and how to set goals and stuff. I'd suggest, if you haven't ever done anything like Inbox Zero before, I'd suggest trying that between now and Sprog, so that you can speak with a little more authority about it. Maybe try some of the other productivity tips that are mentioned, as well as goal setting. Try any of it, but particularly Inbox Zero, so you can respond to questions, and because it'll make you more productive, and that'll be awesome. And you'll become an evangelist like Zach and I and a bunch of folks down here. So diving into a few tips and bits of feedback on specific parts of the training. What does my notes say? So we've delivered this training twice now, different variants of it, and people push back a lot on what ends up on their graph. So we frame it as commitments in this template. So graph your commitments. And so you end up getting things of a very certain nature. It doesn't include things like Facebook and email, because those are sort of distractions. Well, Facebook's a distraction, email is just a way of going about doing your commitments. It also doesn't get things like things you may agree to. You may agree to, lots of your activist friends may ask you to phone bank on all the different campaigns. You may put in a few hours here and there and there and there on something that isn't really a commitment, but you're doing it. The best we could figure out to do is just to keep calling it commitment instead of trying to get every little thing on the graph. And when people talk about these other types of areas where time are spent, definitely acknowledge them and bring them in as if you can, connect them to the next part of the training where we're going to be talking about how to remove these barriers. How do you defer, or how do you renegotiate your time and say, well, yes, I can do this thing like phone banking, but since it's not a priority for me, I can only do it, for this many hours, or I can only do it once a month instead of twice a week or something like that. So if they didn't get it on their commitment graph and during the report backs you're getting some pushback on it, just try and see if it fits into the next part of the training about removing these time leeches that aren't commitments. And so next bit of tips. So on time management, definitely need some more participant engagement there, asking questions. Zach's going to be adding into the template some probing questions to ask there, but just in general, after you talk about the 5 different patterns for time management, it'd probably be a good place to ask a question like, how do you see yourself using one of these 5, or which one might be most impactful in your life, and how do you see yourself applying it? All kinds of different personal reflection or group, partner shares or anything that you could do there. Maybe having people get up and move around might be good there. a good way to get people to move around, even though it's not a kinesthetic learning, but just so people are awake, is have them pair up with people who aren't sitting right next to. It takes a couple extra minutes, but you have to move, which is good. And then we're going to reorder the inbox 0 section because it didn't really flow the way we did it in this training. And I think I'll just refer you to the template. Zach's going to be modifying where it is in the template, the order of things on the handout in the template in terms of verbs, principles, and for labels and folders, and which order those things go in. And yeah, that's it for now. I might record another little clip. And yeah, thanks so much, and good luck on your template. Good luck on the training at Sprog. And since this is new stuff, and you may not have have as much experience with it, obviously, as always, feel free to edit the template however you'd like. But also, Zach and I are totally available to answer any questions that you have, or review your templates, or if you want to integrate your own tips and tricks and models for goal setting, or productivity stuff. Totally go ahead and let us know if you'd like any feedback or help or anything. And I'll insert my email address right here on the screen. And yeah, thanks so much, and good luck at Sprog. Woo!